go straight into the deal now. As you can see today, Hala Madrid, vamos Madrid. We are ready for the new season, and it's such it's been a minute and like incredible time with watching the preseason. Manchester United doing very good. Real Madrid, no direction, and so as we can see now, we don't know who is coming in before. It's kind of a tricky issue on our side, but let's see what this guy is gonna do for us. We are ready. It is what it is. I'm reading the news for you. I'll break it for you. I just heard that you just decided to take the armband from Sesko. Barcelona, what's happening? Tell us.
It's sad as a Barcelona fan to hear that your club is fighting with the player of the club. So remember what I was telling you, and me and you have discussed it a lot of times. We are having these financial issues. So if you remember last season, when the time we were struggling to register Olmo and Paul Victor, same applies with this coming season. We are struggling to register Marcus Rashford and I think it's Garcia, the goalkeeper that we got recently. So because of us struggling to get those funds to register those players, the club looks like the club wanted to cut Ter Stegen's salaries and stuff just to help finance the registration of those two players. So because of that, at some point I had he was nowhere to be found. I saw it on the Here We Go, like the club was looking for him. He was not picking the phone and all those and all those. So that has now led to him being stripped off of his captains. So hey man, it's one of those things that are not nice. The finance is doing things on us. Our finance is very bad, but hopefully we'll get better and better and better.
Because I was just amazed what sort of a decision is that, and yeah, that's football. It is what it is. On a more containing and more loud. Benjamin said, I only want Manchester. Newcastle, oil money. Yes, I understand they're not playing Champions League. I want Manchester. Brian Beumo. I know Manchester is in the Champions League, but I want Manchester. But there's Kuna. I know they are not in Champions League, but I want Manchester. This is beautiful, and we always talk about how beautiful it is to wear the jersey of Manchester United, and we can really see on this window. Though sometimes you can see it's kind of hectic, and when you're trying to buy a player, but I think with Omar Barada, the way he's doing things, this guy is smart, man. It's a very good thing, and players coming because he wants to play for the page. You know what I'm saying? I would say we miss on Yokores, but it's not a miss for us because Yokores didn't want to play for Manchester. Yokores wanted to play Champions League football, of which we were not offering Champions League football. So that's something else. But all in all, what we can say is that finally it's here. Let me read what's happening with Romano. So Romano was writing his breaking news for Manchester. Both parties have agreed. So it's only a matter of minutes. Now we can finally tell Hoyland to look for another club.
Now it's a matter of telling Wellen to look for another club now.
We don't need him.
Yeah, I mean, it's great news for Manchester United, but sad news for Newcastle, man. Because if you see on this window, the players that went for, and most of them did not choose them, you can see that they're really struggling in a way that when it comes to we can finish 15 in the league, ne? But then when it comes to player choosing clubs, there's no way one can choose Newcastle over Manchester United because of the history that we carry, my bro. The history that we have, regardless of us playing, not playing Champions League and Newcastle playing Champions League, the players will be like, no, we're going to Manchester. The reason being, as a player, if you go to Newcastle, what are your main targets? What do you want to achieve? Because we know that Newcastle, yes, they're playing Champions League football, but the chances of them getting to win it. A few. But us, regardless of finishing 15 or finishing last or finishing where, whenever we're going to play Champions League or if we're three. So players tend to choose that. And Manchester United is big. Everyone dreams of playing for that team. I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm waiting for the year we go final. At least now there's a verbal agreement, and it looks like we're going the right direction. And hey, man.
And 3 hours ago, Romano said big news for Manchester United, and he dropped a bomb on top of that. Big news for Manchester United. So it's the here we go before we sleep today. Before 12 midnight, we're gonna hear here we go. Benjamini Sesko to Manchester United. I mean, seriously, what else do you want?
What else? But man, those are happy news. Those are happy news. Like at least the club begged him off a bit. He managed to get one or two, three players that are good. So hey, the only thing that now it will be a while for us is our formation. Who are we gonna play, where, and what? Because that midfield. I saw it was the preseason. That midfield is gonna give us a problem. That one, but. Yeah, man, we happy for Benjamin Sesko. Yeah, the other thing that I wanted us to talk about while you were still on Manchester United. I think I saw some news also on Fabrizio Romano. Scott McTominay has been nominated for the Ballon d'Or. What's your take? I don't know if you have seen it, but what's your take on that?
I would say, since he was a Serie A player of the season, and I would say that's good news for him. We love Scott McTominay, and that stone which was rejected by the builder is now the chief cornerstone.
It's now a chief cornerstone. Amen. But yes, sir, let's go through what you wanted to tell us.
I want to say Darwin Nunes, here we go. Darwin Nunes is going to Al Hilal from Liverpool. It's a here we go. It's done deal. Everything is pen and paper has been sorted. Darwin Nunes is going to Al Hilal, a deal that will see him going to Saudi Pro League, and yeah. And on the other news, Jokeres played 2 games for Arsenal. He hasn't scored any goal on his 2 debut, and they lost today. They lost to Villarreal, so it's gonna be a special one for him. This is a very big welcome, and this is Arsenal who disappoint you until you said, "Why did I choose them?"
Yes, sir, I saw it. Like your people are gonna come for him. Arsenal, after signing all those players, I know it's preseason, but guys, guys, like you said, if they don't win anything this season, they're never gonna win anything. It's done for them.
It's one thing they got a striker and they get rid of their best player, which is Thomas Partey. Let's wait and see how they're going to perform in the Premier League. And if they don't do anything this season, I don't see him surviving.
I wanted to say, of course, I wanted to agree with you there that if Arteta don't win something this season, if he doesn't bring any one trophy this season, there's no survivor. Even if I was an Arsenal fan, enough is enough now. We have given you more chances. You have failed to deliver some good news. So at least bring something home so that we cannot be waiting for next season every time. But yes, let's move on, sir.
I know, man. Mr. Patrice Evra has told us that watching Arsenal is watching Netflix. You always wait for next episode.
You always, you're always
So
waiting for
basically,
next season.
in St. James Park, after Newcastle failed to land Benjamin Sheshko, they are going in all out for Nicholas Jackson.
This is called a plan B and a plan B option. But I'm sure that they're gonna win. They're gonna win. There's no one who's gonna compete with them. They can look it. They can look it. No one is gonna compete with them. At least now they go for someone who is. I don't know if he's up for Arsenal, but I think he doesn't have a choice. I think he doesn't have a choice because Chelsea already have 2 of their players that they're gonna play there. Dion Dilab and Pedro. That Brighton guy who came through as well. So he doesn't have a choice. He just have to move if you want some minutes in Premier League.
I'll close. Everton are open talks with Jack Grealish. I always say Jack Grealish has failed dismally at City, and people will look at me with this eye like, what are you talking about? Jack Grealish, what did he do at City? Nothing.
Bro, I agree with you, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because I think, like, honestly speaking, even if people wanna come for it or wanna argue this can be argued. Jack Grealish, ever since he moved from Aston Villa to City, I mean, I did not see his impact. I did not see his impact. The impact that he had at Aston Villa when we also wanted him and he chose City, I did not see his impact. I did not see what did he go and do at City there. Nah, nothing, nothing. Because ever since he went to City, has he been called to the national team? Maybe once or just once or something.
Who won the scrape? No, this is now a difficult issue because you know you can't have the punditry play all the time playing for you. In closing, I will say we are still waiting for a big game for me to see Pogba playing. I noticed that when Monaco is playing, Pogba is not playing those games. And on a sad news, Olympic Lyon, is it Lyon, the one we played, and Harry Maguire who came from the graves. He was a ghost on that game. They're going to be relegated because they have this big debt that they are owing, which is very, very bad for the team. It's not, it's different. I was asking, really reading something. It's kind of different when Manchester United is owing over 700 something, because Manchester United, they got a lot of uh, fan base. So all those people, when the season starts, they can buy the jerseys, they can let the club sustain. And United is a big brand in the sense of they can go to Asia alone and make some good monies, and go to they make some good monies. You know what I'm saying? So for Olympic Lyon now it's difficult because they have a lot. There's a debt of even over 500, and they can't. So the only option that's left with them is for them to be relegated because they don't have money to sustain the club. It's something very sad, and yeah. Last but not least, Manchester,
Uh-huh.
after they considered buying Sesko, that deal done. They are going on to take what do you call this guy? Carlos Baleba. And it's really something that was working when that's the previous this week. Rio Ferdinand was talking about Carlos Baleba. He was like, if this deal of Sesko is not gonna go through, let's go for Baleba. And I was looking at him, and he's just a young boy who is he's a 21 year old. He's African, he's Cameroonian, and who plays in the Premier League at Brighton Hovion, and it's amazing. And a 21-year old, it's literally one of those things. And I don't know how good is this boy, but he's someone who was being over elaborated in the news. And I don't know, have you ever seen him though?
No, so applies here with me. I think I only saw him on one or two games, but I've never seen him that much. And when you're seeing a player based on the highlights and stuff, they only show you the good or the bad that they want to show you. So on that one, I don't have really comment on say, is it a good signing for us or is it a what? Because I haven't really seen him play. But if you see great players like Rio considering going for him, I know that might be a good thing for us.
Yeah, but don't forget Rio Ferdinand is the one who tell us, who run in the streets, who like give him pen and paper. He must sign a contract. When he was talking about Ole, after Ole went 11 games unbeaten, he was like, "Where is the pen? Where is the pen? Give him the pen to sign. Give him the pen to sign." So sometimes it's not about who said what. It's really. I'm just waiting on Benjamin Sheshko. Here we go. Uh Guys, let's like, and I'm still waiting for people's question, man. And what do they want us to talk about, to do in pitching up big things on this page? This is food for fun, and just a heads up, man. What do you think we can do to improve on our viewership, on the way we do things, whatever that we need to do? Like, we need those comments, we need those likes, we subscribe and like button, share with your families and relatives. Yeah, but man, much love. Thank you so very much, guys. See you once again.
Yeah, until that time. Yes.